So a few days ago at the gym, I had someone ask me something kind of interesting at the time. I didn't really fully perceive it for what it was, but now in retrospect, it was a very interesting question. I think more so to help me realize other people's perception of certain things, like especially when it comes to the amount of effort put into achieving certain, let's call them goals or abilities or skills or whatever. So what started it was I was doing some squats. After I'd finished my warm up and 3 or 4 working sets, whatever it was, I thought, okay, I'm gonna throw on a few extra plates and just see what current weight I can easily push for a 1 rep max. I didn't max out. That was the thing. When I finished this 1 rep, I even said to myself, "Shit, I can throw on another 20 kilos and rep out another one." But I had 200 kilos on the bar. Stood up with it. It felt really good. Went down, stood back up as if it was nothing, and that made me think, yeah, I can go a bit more. But it was my first exercise of the session, so I didn't want to completely knacker myself out before doing any other exercises. But about 20 minutes or half hour go by, and this young lad comes over, and I can see he's kind of like staring at me, wanting to like ask a question or say something, anything like that. And when I was doing the squats, he was in the background, sort of just absolutely, jaw dropped, like, how the hell can you do that? And he came over and asked, how did you do that squat earlier? And I said to him, what do you mean, how did I do it? And he said, well, how much was it? I said, 200 kilos. He goes, well, how did you do it? I said, well, I don't know. It's just, it's just a squat. That's not even my max. And he was like, oh, okay. And then I said, yeah, my max is 210 for 2 reps. He goes, shit, how many years did it take you to do that? And I've never really thought about how many years it's taken me to achieve anything, especially when it comes to exercises, because I'm lucky enough to be naturally strong. So I've got what some might call the genetics for super strength. And I had a thing for about 10 seconds, and I said to him, 3 months. And he was completely in disbelief that I said it took me 3 months to be able to squat 200 kilos or 210, as the case may be. And yeah, realistically, from the point where I started taking squatting seriously to the point where I was like, shit, yeah, I'll give it a go, 200 plus kilos, was about 3 months of work. But I think the key that he was missing was the fact that there is no shortcut for doing that. Like, that's a lot of weight. It's not easy. I'm not going to say anyone can just pick up 200 kilos and load it on their shoulders and do a squat, or let alone 2 squats. It does take a lot of work, and there were a few failures leading up to that point. It's not. There's no shortcut for it. There's no like, oh, how did you do it? It's just work, practice, exercise, train hard, eat a lot. Naturally, you need to let the muscles build, taking your protein, etc. But yeah, no, unless you're gonna spend a decade abusing steroids, that's the only. Well, it's not the only. That's not even that's not a quick way. Like bodybuilders who do use steroids and that, they still put in a fuckload of effort to get as big as they are. Yeah. So the point I'm trying to make is, there's no shortcut for achieving greatness. It's just work. You just have to put in the work, put in the effort, rinse and repeat, be consistent, keep trying, and when you fail, don't give up, try harder. Basically, that's all it is. So if there's an exercise that you're trying to achieve a 1 rep max or a 3 rep max, or just a new weight you're trying to get to, the only solution is to keep trying, keep pushing, keep lifting. yeah, it's all about the effort and exercise. Obviously, you got to work smart at it as well. You can't just go ego lifting all the time because it doesn't work. I find myself a lot of the time having to shift down gears and work for several weeks at a time at like 50 to 60% of my 1 rep max. But those exercises still help, and they play a massive part in the overall development of muscle strength, etc. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. If I bump into him next time in the gym, I'll have to say to him, look, there's no shortcut. Just put in the work, and you get out as much of a result equivalent to the amount of work that you put in. So simple as that. It's not simple, but it's as simple as that. Anyway, until next time, hope you have a great day, and I will catch up with you soon.